Indian FTR 1200 represents a huge leap forward for an American motorcycle manufacturer, and is the most significant American motorbike produced in over half a century.
All right, hold up here. Time out. It's a little bit too dramatic. So what we have here is a 128 horsepower liquid-cooled dual overhead cam V-twin aluminum engine attached to a lightweight steel tubular trellis frame and swing arm. Brembo brakes, magnesium engine covers, and a full suite of electronics powered by a multi-axis IMU, which enables lean angle sensing, stability control, traction control, wheelie control, and ABS. We also have a high-flow airbox, light and crankshaft, engine power modes, including track mode, and a touch-sensitive LCD display. And actually, this last part's pretty cool, so I'll just let it play.
Indian has fired a shot across the bow of the Japanese and European exotic manufacturers, such as Ducati and BMW, to announce that America doesn't just build 800-pound, two-wheeled rolling stereos anymore. Join me as I take the FTR 1200 for a test with every dirty detail.
Oh, you better be alert. I might just throw a random fry in the middle. Oh, who's faster? That was good.
All right. Here we go. Indian FTR 1200. Clutch in. 1203 liquid-cooled 60-degree V-twin. It's a dual overhead cam. 128 horsepower, I think at 8250, and 82 foot-pounds at only 6,000 RPM. Bike weighs about, I think 503 pounds wet. So this is actually a touch screen. So here are the power modes here. There's rain, standard, sport. And I think you can swipe through. So let's see. Yep, you can swipe through different menus, which is pretty sweet. So here you got your tack, fuel gauge, which is a quarter tank, third of a tank, 3,700 miles. Little compass here, and let's see, phone. Don't need that. All right, so we'll just get to the standard display here. We'll go with the old upside down hockey stick tack here. Nice. Well, here we go, FTR 1200. Nice clutch engagement, 2-finger clutch. Real nice clutch actuation for a cable clutch. Brake lever is a little far out. So the bike is slightly tilted forward. You got a little bit of a rake to the seat, but I'm not sliding at all. The seat is very firm. So this is Indian's answer to the Ducati Monster. Brembo brakes. You got this TFT screen, which I just went over, really nice. Love this clutch for a cable clutch. Real nice actuation. It's a friggin' biscuit right here. Alright, here we go. That pulls real good. Yeah, real good. Really starts pulling about 6 grand. Handles well. We got a friggin' line in the road there. Handles good. I'm not crazy about these tires. There's a little bit of slip in the front end, but very intuitive handling. Come on, let's see. Yeah, pulls good. No, that's top gear right there. Good pull. Suspension is very taut. Really good pitch control in the suspension. Wow, this is really nice. Looks like someone snapped off the... this bike has been dropped because the little safety knob on the brake lever, on the end of the brake lever, is broken off. And the carbon tank cover is actually cracked right here. Look at that. Someone muckled this thing. See that? Friggin' brake lever. A little scuff on the bar end there. That's too bad. Someone told me that they crushed these demo bikes. I don't know if that's true or not. Oh, look, this guy friggin' wheeling. Sweet, bro. So in terms of the dynamics of the motor and the vibratory characteristics of the motor, it's very smooth. The motor starts to get lumpy around 2,500, 3 grand. Very smooth, above 5 grand. Oh yeah. Nice, bro. Yeah, real nice clutch engagement. Thing is very tossable. It's very monster-esque. There's like nothing hanging out over the front. It's like the bike just ends after the handlebars. So wind protection is 0. Shedding is pretty bad off your helmet. Tucking doesn't do anything. Turn-in's very nice. Feels pretty well planted. If you put a set of like Pirelli Diablo Supercourses on this thing, it'd really wake up the handling. Just a little vague around the corners. It's no steering damper. This thing has no steering damper. Yeah, there's a little bit of head shake on the corners, coming in and out of the corners. Let's see. Let's try a top gear roll on here at 60. All right, so here's 60. I'm gonna try and pass this guy 60, 3,000 RPM. Plenty of passing power. Nice thing about the twins, plenty of torque for passing. You can be lazy with your shifting, just leave it in gear. I love that it has a key. I'm not a big fob fan. So we got Öhlins fully adjustable suspension. Again, love the controls. Fueling is sweet, clutch is great. Very smooth power delivery, no gaps in the throttle. Backlash in the drivetrain is like 0. Very refined. Good job, Indian. Really good job. Let's test out the braking here. Very intuitive handling. Very, very intuitive. You feel like you've been riding the bike for years. Everything about it. Ergonomics are great. Oh yeah, she wants to pull. I gotta say, this bike is quicker off the line than the MT-10, up to about 5 or 6 grand. Pulls like a freight train up to that. Very torquey. This is a great bike. Really unbelievable bike. Better than I expected. They really nailed the controls on this thing. You can even lug the thing, 3rd gear. Very flickable. Nice suspension. Suspension is taut, but it really soaks up the bumps. It must be progressively sprung. Really good shock control. Again, really good pitch control, pitch attenuation. So whenever your front wheel hits a bump, then the back wheel hits the bump, puts the bike into a pitch excitation, a pitch mode. Super intuitive. Plenty of power. So whenever you ride a motorcycle over a bump, front wheel hits first, jounce pushes the front end up, then the rear wheel goes over it, and it goes up, and it puts you into a pitch mode or pitch oscillation. You want to get from a pitch mode into a ride mode, which is a vertical mode, as quickly as possible. And this bike does that very well. What it doesn't do well is wind protection. You have no wind protection. It's actually really bad. For a bike with this much power, it needs like a little bikini fairing, because you're right over the front end. I mean, look, this is me in a tuck. Okay, so this is upright, this is me in a tuck. My chin is actually even with the end of the instrument cluster here, the dashboard. Seat is really, really comfortable for a stock seat. No hot spots in the old sit bones. Very comfortable. Knees are nicely tucked. It's a little bit of a ridge on the tank. The fuel tank wraps underneath the seat. I would say the knee grip under the tank isn't so hot. It's not bad. But this is just a cover. This isn't the actual fuel tank. This carbon bit right here. For a clean sheet design first pass, this is a really sweet bike. Pulls really good, yeah. So about 5,500 RPM, the motor really starts pulling. There we go, 5,500. Yeah, pulls real good. You get an extra burst of power at about 7 grand. I gotta slow it down here so you can hear me. There's quite a bit of wind noise. So peg height is pretty good. It's It's pretty much like a standard motorcycle. Not too high, not too low, very comfortable. My knees, I'm 5'11", and I'd say my legs are actually a little bit too long for the pegs. I'd want to drop the pegs maybe a ½ inch to an inch. One thing I'll say is I keep hitting this little toggle switch here rather than the turn signal. It's kind of a pain in the ass. It pulls real good. Alright, let's try out the brakes here. Wow, brakes are really good. Damn. Yeah, brakes are really, really good. No fade. Dive is minimal. Very flickable, very easy to toss around. Front end's very light, easy to steer. Oh yeah. Yeah. There she is. FTR 1200. Beautiful. I think I would get the maroon and white paint scheme. I like that. Yeah, see, this bike was dropped. You can see there's a crack there in the tank cover. Yeah, I would lose these tires. I'd put a set of oh, look at that crown too. I'd put a good set of Pirelli Supercourses on there. It compares really well to the Monster. I actually like it better than the Monster. Something more flickable and tossable about it. It feels so light, even though it is 500 pounds. So you don't have to wait for the screen to boot up. Shifts are very crisp and light on the gearbox. Sounds good. Those Acra cans on there. Let's go Saturn. Man, that's a tired looking Saturn. There's no way to get away from this wind noise. So I guess that's my only gripe with the bike, is a friggin' ton of wind noise. So this thing has really good mid-range power. So the motor's a little lumpy. I wouldn't say that it's smooth. It's just sort of lumpy V-twin. It's sort of in between an inline 4-cylinder and like a lumpy, let's say, Chieftain V-twin. It's got a ton of snap. You really got to have your wits about you. You friggin' go smacking that throttle and you're not ready for it. It can really snap your neck back. Very intuitive. Very, very intuitive. This has that same smooth, elastic-like throttle that's on the Scout. Yeah, these tires aren't very good. They're okay. I really don't want to push it. I can feel the front end drifting just a little bit. Neutral's easy to find. I'm telling you, man, Harley's got to watch out. Indian really has their act together. I think Harley really has to wake up and realize that people want sporty bikes that handle well and brake well. It's fine to go out for a cruise and be comfortable and all that, but sometimes you want really good handling. You want to have fun just flicking the bike around. He's afraid to take his hand off the clutch. Let's put it in neutral, buddy. Nice. Oh boy. Holy cow. Oh, we got a little loft right there. This thing lofts the wheel. This thing lofts the front wheel really easily. Well, big thanks to Indian Motorcycles for letting us take these things out here at the Long Beach Motor Show. Oh, jeez. Yeah, you can really friggin' wheel this thing. Yeah, you can just toss this thing around.